Nintendo Switch's online services and platforms. So let's start with the Nintendo one. Now, it's up to you whether you think this kind of service is worth a lot to you or not. Full disclosure, I don't own a Nintendo. I don't own a Super Nintendo. And I have a Nintendo 64 for specific games that I wanted to play, like GoldenEye and the wrestling games, such as WCW vs. NWO World Tour, which I did a match and posted on this channel already for, WCW NWO Revenge, WCW Mayhem, and WWF No Mercy, WWF WrestleMania 2000. That's why I have a Nintendo 64. And I'll take requests if you guys want to see some stuff from those games, and I'll certainly work on that. But I don't have an original Nintendo, and I don't have a Super Nintendo. So for me, and I'm not going to buy every 64 game there ever was. So I actually don't. I like this service. I like the concept of it, and I give Nintendo credit for trying to put something out there. Like this Mario Bros, Super Mario 3, Tecmo Bowl. That's a legend. Tennis, Zelda, Yoshi, soccer, pro wrestling, and also, by the way, credit to them, they don't remove games from their library. And I love the Game Pass, but the one thing you got to remember about Game Pass is there is a potential, small chance, but still potential, that a game you love will be removed. And then you have to buy it. Now, you get a discount on it if you buy it when it's getting moved out. And typically, those games are not going to be incredibly expensive in the Microsoft Store. But that is something to keep in mind. At least with this library so far, as they build it out, they haven't been pulling games out. So I like that. River City Ransom, like I said, Ice Hockey, Ice Climber, Donkey Kong, Double Dragon. I mean, this is a good library of games. Is it every game ever? Well, they can't cover every game ever. But there's fun to be had. And a lot of these games I honestly haven't played because I jumped into the video game world at the Super Nintendo generation. So there's a lot of games here that I still need to catch up on. And this is a great way for me to do it, right? Super Mario Bros., Metroid, Punch Out. I went to a great NAVA event where they did Punch Out. Actually, probably one of my favorite game tournaments that I ever went to was a Punch Out one. That was incredibly fun. I highly recommend games like that. Star Soldier, uh, Donkey Kong. I mean, it is a very solid collection of games, and they're constantly adding to it, right? Let's see, Project Doom. Uh, there's some new ones since I haven't been on here in a while. So this is cool. I mean, I think it's a fun, I think it's a fun library, and we could jump in and play a game just so you can see how it plays out. Let's see. You do Punch Out. So you just select it. It's very simple. You select it, and that's it. You jump right in, and it's like you're playing in 1987, right? Or 1990 when this game came out. Well, that ref looks familiar. I don't know. It's probably just me. I'm probably gonna get knocked out, no pun intended, but I have not played this on the system. Ooh. A couple shots in. Shout out to my buddy Sal and to Brian. They were pretty good at this. Ooh, taking a beating there. Ooh. I'm knocked out. Oh, into round two. But you get the gist. I mean, this is pretty much it. You know, this is you know, it's like you own an old school Nintendo, and it's fun too. Again, you have this on your Switch, and you play it in the living room, and you want to pop it into your dock, and you can play with kids. I think that's a great option. Oh, I think I got it. Nice. All right, here we go. Match it up a little bit. Try to get a little confidence. I'm sure there's some old heads out there that remember having this game in their game room. This was a staple of the old NES. And the NES has a legendary library. This is one of those games that really, you know, a lot of people back in the day would have been playing with their friends to see, oh, can you make it now? I don't know if I can get out of this first match, but oh, I think you got me at the last second. Looks like I'm still in it. And when you're playing it, I mean, you totally forget you're playing this on an online service. So obviously the drawback is you play online, so you have to have Wi-Fi. So if you take your Switch with you, you're not going to be able to play this. Now, and there's no download option. So if you don't have it, you don't have it. So there's your knock right there. Okay, so whatever game, you know, if you're planning on you know, going on the road and you don't have any Wi-Fi. Now, if you have your phone, you could actually tether off your phone, and I've tethered off my phone to play the Nintendo Switch, play other games, and it's worked fine. So I guess that is an option. So, you know, I shouldn't say that you're totally out of luck, but typically, you would want to have direct Wi-Fi if you can, because that's the best option. And I did not answer the bell. Alright, so I lost that one. Now, what makes the service, you know, again, one of the cool factors, right? So I want to back out of this, right? You just hit the, those two back buttons, and then suddenly you can, like, suspend, you can create a suspense, so you can come back to it, go back to the game selection, and then boom, you're right out. So it's very convenient. So now I can, like, go ahead and pick another game. You know, I can really jump around. And that's really the impetus behind this. You know, it's an online library. You know, again, like, Game Pass is number one in this category. And I'm going to try very hard not to compare to Game Pass. Game Pass is number one in this. But this is not bad. You know, this is not bad. For those who had these systems, you're going to love this option. And for you kids out there who have heard of these systems, but you don't want to go crazy, like, looking to buy the systems and hook everything up and get the cords and all that stuff, this is a great way to touch some old classics. So I highly, highly recommend it. Now I'm going to back out and I'm going to jump into the other one, the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo Online. So same deal, same concept. You have library games. Let me go ahead and I guess go for. All right, so we'll just quickly scroll through. So look at Super Tennis, Soccer, Zelda. Star Fox. I mean, you can see this library. It's pretty solid. Some good games. Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong, I always felt like graphics on that were unbelievable, like unbelievable. I couldn't believe that that game really was like ahead of its time. Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart. I'm sorry, Super Mario Kart. That's a great one. Spent a lot of hours playing that back in the day. Super Mario World, Rival Turf, this Avalanche, Super Punch Out. So I mean, look, you got a lot of options here. Very cool, and I think again, it's a great way to touch a system to get your hands on something without having to go all the way in, especially if you're totally new to it or if you're someone who had these things and you don't have them anymore. And I think it's a great compromise. If you enjoy the concept of a variety pack, I mean, this is what it is right here. And could they flesh it out more? Yeah, absolutely. And they will. And they are. Over time, this library continued to grow. I think they're gonna put more and more of an emphasis on this, because this also saves them and gives them time to develop a new console. Because the online service you can keep building on it forever. So it's really a great idea. And now we'll jump over to the Nintendo 64. So last but never least, the Nintendo 64's online service. Same concept. The library is not as extensive as you have for the Super Nintendo or the Nintendo original, which is the biggest one. Yoshi's Story, Star Fox 64, Super Mario 64, Wii Back, Mario Tennis, Mario Kart 64, one of my personal favorites, along with Star Fox, Zelda, racing game, Banjo Kazooie, Paper Mario, Mario Golf. That's actually a really fun game. Pilot Wing 64 is a good one. Mario Party. Mario Party is, it is great to have that on here because you can play Mario Party online with your friends. The 64 version. Very, very cool. And also, just want to point out that we all know that GoldenEye will be coming in here shortly. So that's going to be pretty awesome that you're going to have GoldenEye in here. Now, some games, some classics, like all the wrestling games and whatnot, that's a licensing issue. They can't control that. But what they can control, they're starting to add. Now, adding GoldenEye is huge. I think we all thought that would be a possibility when we saw the Rare Collection games appearing on here, like this one, Banjo Kazooie. So I think that's awesome. And Nintendo and Microsoft are really getting her done by working together on that. So let's hop into a 64 game. Why not? Just to see how it works. Let's see. You want to do like something simple like Wave Race, or do you want to see like Mario Golf, or how about Mario Party 2? See, it loads up the screen. It's like I have the 64 open. Very, very cool. And I know some of you guys have Project 64 on your PCs and all that. But again, this is portable Nintendo. And I'm playing it on my dock, but it is portable Nintendo. So, and you could play this online with your friends. You can't do that with Project 64. So that's another thing to consider. Like now we're playing these online. How cool is that? See, you can jump in and you can play minigames, just like you can in the current game, which is also a fun one. But it's just cool, you have access to these games from Nintendo 64, on the fly. You don't feel like pulling up your system if you don't have one. Great way to introduce your kids to the system without committing to buying one, even though they're not overly expensive or anything. Um, so let's see. I have to buy stuff. Now, I don't have any points. So, yeah, just jump. Alright, I gave up on Mario Party because because I didn't realize I needed coins to put the minions on that. And I have, like in the new game, the new Mario Party, you can just jump in and play mini games, however, whatever you want.
Wave race.
Select your watercraft, please.
Should just do it at the time.
Wave race.
Wow, this game came out in 1996.
Select your watercraft, please. Welcome to Dolphin Park. Warm-up time. Follow that dolphin.
Ooh.
To start racing, select Start the Race from the pause screen menu.
I think I lost my dolphin. He ditched me.
Press up and down on the control stick to lean the rider forward and back.
Wow. I didn't do a regular race because I am brutal with this.
When you jump, you can control the height of your jump by leaning the rider forward or back. Welcome to Sunny
Alright,
Beach.
let's look at those mid-90s graphics. Oh yeah.
Get ready for the first race. 3, 2, 1, go!
It just seemed like everybody just got a head start.
Don't sweat it. Everybody behind you.
Whoops.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Good. Maximum power. No problem. Nice. Good. Okay. Don't miss any more.
You know what? I missed the cruising race. I wish those were. I
Nice.
think there's there is a new game that's part of the cruising family that was being told about.
Okay. Okay. Maximum power.
I'm not sure how to use that.
And left. Nice.
You get the gist. I mean, this is kicking me off. Let's jump into some Mario Kart real quick. And by the way, if you want to flip between games, you just hit that the select button. That sets up the menu where you can just come out completely or just go to the game selection screen. So that's what it is. It's just that that one button there. So anyway, let's just go ahead and jump in. Let's do a quick race.
Mario Grand Prix. Select your player.
Alright, let's do... this will be my main total.
Select map.
Yeah, this takes me back here. This takes me back. Now, one thing I will say about the controller, the GameCube retro controller that I have for that I'm using and connecting to my Switch, the joystick has an extreme amount of oversteer on it. Like every single time I try to I turn, I'm completely oversteering. But you know, I hope you get an idea of what the service is about. Like, I mean, think of it this way: this service is very much like I don't want to say a poor man's, but let's say it's like a reduced Game Pass. So you get a lot of games. There's across 3 different systems, which is that part is very cool. You could play online with your friends, but is it as extensive as Game Pass? No. Is the online service, does it work as well as Game Pass? No. Are there more games that they could and should add? Yes. And will they? Yes, I think they will. I think Nintendo, you know, being its own ecosystem, they realize that there's going to be just a tremendous amount of value in adding to their online library, and they're going to continue to do that. So, but overall, I mean, I'm playing this on my dock, I'm on my Wi-Fi, and this thing works great. I mean, it's fun, you know, jumping into these old games. I actually don't have Mario Kart for my 64. Like I said, I bought my 64 for a very specific group of games, and I did not pick up Mario Kart. I didn't do it on purpose. I just never picked it up. But I have it. I have it on the online service, which is pretty cool. So, you know, overall, you know, I would give this service a thumbs up. I recommend it. 3 different systems. They all have their own value, different nostalgia. But I would go ahead and pick this up, subscribe to it. Why not? If you have a Nintendo Switch and you're not using it, I think you're probably missing out or not using your Switch to its fullest capacity. So I give this service a thumbs up. I think you could have a lot of fun with it. And you know, like everything else, you know, you have to make the decision if you think it's worthwhile for yourself. I know for me, I definitely thought it was. And that's about it. So, you know, we'll do more if you have any specific requests for specific games in any of these libraries, whether it be the NES, the SNES, or the Nintendo 64. Please go ahead and put the comment in on this video and let me know. But otherwise, if there's anything else you want to see on the Nintendo Switch, let me know, because I haven't been doing a lot of content on Nintendo, and I realize I want to show it some love. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll keep having fun here.